Hello, everyone. Coyote here. It is Monday and it is the 14th. It is Flag Day. It is also Otis 45 birthday. 45, also number 9. Sharing your skills and your special abilities for going within, being true self, being by being in appreciation and movement. Today is Monday, first day of the week. So I titled this in the midst of rain change because the rain is water. Water is fluid. Water can be solid. Water can be gaseous. But rain is a sign of change because it washes things away. Rain is a sign of change because it feeds so many species on the planet that we don't even think too much about or give credit for. It's amazing for all kinds of plant life in our trees. Amazing, yes, for bugs and things we may find in rain or a wide array of it. Everything has its reason, and quite frankly, in a lot of bug and plant species is so bark, so much healing, different potencies can be made. And when these beings expire, or perhaps are taken by us herbally, there, there's many assistance with cures or reliefs, many remedies. One popular remedy going around right now is a pine needle tea. So you want to make sure it's real pine needle tea. And then you don't want to soak pine needles in the tea. You want to take the boiling water and pour it over the needles, I believe, because I think whatever is needed is um, not done the same way if it's steeped in it, I believe. But look up that recipe; it's very interesting. It is surfacing, or it is circulating around so many things. In fact, I have something in one of my drawers. I'm hesitant to throw away. I should see if there's an expiration date on it, but it came from an herbalist in Boston, Massachusetts, Chinese herbalist, and it was for when I was being told I had carpal tunnel. And I needed either medicine or operation or injections or something. And I had actually been working in the pizza store and doing a repetitious act for several months. Oh, thank you. I do have this on loud, so maybe it's just me. Hi, sorry about that. Hopefully, Robin, that'll come out. It'll come out louder, and maybe it's just me and my voice today because it's a sleepy-ish looking day, and I'm really heading out the door. This wasn't going to be loud. So pine needle tea is something to really look up for. All kinds of natural remedy, including what some people are saying is about the jab that that's fixed. Oh, that yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So that even the jab, what's going around. I mean, there's all kinds of a lot of things are said right now in the by well-meaners on both sides, and they're both all a lot of fear-based. It's really important that you take a look at information and see if it triggers you, how it triggers you, and kind of get in a centered place about your sharing, because otherwise you've got anxiety, you've got fear. No matter what the words are about remedy, cure, what's happening next, what's going to happen, where we're going, this and that. If you have any bit of you that's fearful about something, it's there. And those things trigger. So we can take a look at what your dark shadow is to bring that up, because this is all an individual journey in the midst of a collective consciousness of being raised on the planet. And it's very purposeful. It's very purposeful. And there's so many channels speaking about how we can manifest instantly in diligence and in just showing up. We can have things happen. It's just so much of our training, and even since babies being brought up, that it takes time. It take someone with a title. No, you shouldn't behave that way. It doesn't look good. Oh, blah, blah, blah. All these obstacles to getting to where we're going, rather than just this floodgate of ourselves in the present moment, bringing in the juice that we're from, the life force that we're from. So in the midst of rain change, and I'll just repeat again, rain is life-giving. Rain feeds so many species on the planet that we don't think of in terms of all the types of plant species, all the types of insects, animals. These creatures matter because they serve a purpose, not only in every being, every single creature values its life, its way it functions in their group. Every single being values its life, and all parts are played. And whether they're synchronistic timing, whether they're mirrors held up to be learned from. So I just wanted to bring a few cards forward that would kind of remind us of the day, help us look forward to positivity, help us do our best to stay in the positive, which is a kind of an overused word, positive mindset kind of thing. Just trying to find a way the glasses won't so much. Because it seems like when we say the word positive, it just kind of skims the surface of this good way we're supposed to maintain no matter what when we don't feel that way. First part is to feel your feelings because that's on you. The next part is to honor that, whatever that is. Now, certainly, it's a joyful, blissful, easy, happy, kind, knowing, a resonance of surety, certainness. Not such a not such a problem. Feeling pretty great. And that energy is whatever. You just can go zip right along. But what about if you kind of feel a little wobbly about money or job, or partner, or body image, or where you're moving, all kinds of animals, issues, family issues, all kinds of things that could knock us off from that initial place of feeling pretty good today. In fact, I feel pretty amazing. In fact, I feel really like myself. And then other energies bombard us. Can we maintain even 78% of, I got this, temporary, be all right. I'll get it. I'll be all right. And more than all right. I got this. This is just temporary. It doesn't even belong to me. It's just this thing kind of hitting me, going through. It's a temporary whatever, but I'm going to still sail this direction. So what would be a benefit for us to hear today? Just a few cards to help us, for this day. In my neck of the woods, it's raining. The downpour subsided. It was supposed to rain today for several hours, stop and come again. So let's just see what the cards will help us with. You know that I usually read them very optimistically, in a most helpful way that we can redefine, redesign, reclaim, rejuvenate from, and not stay in a place of lack, worry, and maintain that lower vibration. And there are some cards I don't like to get myself because they are challenging for me to read, and or they do depict some chaos. So let's see what's going on. We know what we're gonna get. That I've asked for help today. Almost. Maybe this is maybe. See what I wanted to say. I always say the last card too. So therefore, very spiritual. Very. Ooh, we got good cards. We got amazing cards today. Amazing. I have my cheat sheet near me. I might get it. All right. The first card. Oh gosh, I can't find it. So you don't see like glare every second. So the first card, go forward and leave the past behind. It's a number 3, the triangle, mind, body, spirit. It's a magic card, the pyramid. It's great. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Magic happening in 3s. So go forward and leave the past behind. Magdalene de la Mer. So basically, this card that looks really like sort of Christian people or religious people might like this card, right? With a certain type of outfit. So the pony or horse, like horse in the back, it's kind of dusky, but he does represent old paradigms, and yet there's that little bit of maybe even what we used to call freedom. Hey, Kim. So there's a little bit of that going on, because you've got that flight of birds. You've got these flamingos and, or I think they're flamingos, but or herons, and they're intertwining their necks like DNA. And then you've got a chick here representing the birth of their child, or the birth of a new beginning. And then you've got scrolls here, sacred scrolls, sacred tools, sacred rites of passage, knowledge, bringing new places to new lands, start of a new day, new dawn. So this is go forward and leave the past behind. If you're wanting to make changes in your life, you want to declutter in your life, wanting to move, wanting to get a new job, ending relationship or shaping relationships differently, going forward, it's giving us a go ahead. And this rain, sign of change, sign of wiping things away, making things fresh and new. Think outside the flock, 29, 19, 11, 2, card of balance. So we had a 3 and 2, card of balance. This is a sacred mound. I want to say it's in Glastonbury. The sheep, of course, we've been lately, all of us, most of our whole life in different religions, they think of us as a flock, when we follow our pastor, minister, priest, under the umbrella of God, the almighty goodness that we've come from, or source, infinite mind. And yet, sheep depend on their the sheep herder, right? They seemingly seem calm, mindless. They just want to know where they're watering their food is. They will follow their leader anywhere. And we know better to not call people certain names right now, because we don't want to be called certain names. But you have this mystic, which is also representative of us being outside the flock and taking a look at things, bringing in our ancient ancestors, knowing that they're there, really there for us, and that we're seeing, we're going deep within ourselves, our lives, oral history. We're going deep in not taking anything for granted of the day. We're thinking outside. How can we do this differently? How can I move ahead with whatever X, Y, and Z? And yet, we still are on Earth. We still are all together. It's not a discount, but it's a being the conscious observer. So think outside the flock and go forward. Leave the past behind. Move with the flow. Moving with the flow. Also water, right? Water in here. Water in my day anyway. So I'm making that association. Maybe at your day it's bright and sunny. So I'm just delivering it with everything that's happening around me. And I think that some of this will trickle into your life in a good way, and that is my wish for you. So this is also number 20. I've got 2, 6, 6, 7, 8. Number 8. This is so funky. I'm in the half dark here. Yeah. Number 8, the money card, divinity card, source has our back. So going with the flow, she's in contemplation in this great green area. 2 of her angels are there. There's a beaver, badger, builders. The flow of water, again, rain here, and how this talk is coming together because there's rain here. The flow of nature, the flow, the cleansing. There's a little bit of a beehive or a wasp hive, which can mean several things. There can be a little bit of sting in life, and yet there's so much heart and movement and flow going around us, and asking us to choose the path of least resistance, move with the flow. Also, a kind of another introspective, being a conscious observer, and she's within. So sometimes we are in the middle of a challenge, but do our best to go with the flow. You don't have to give in terms of giving up sovereignty, giving up your space. That doesn't mean you have to be in someone's face about it. You can just kind of go with the flow, be invisible to your enemies. And a little bit of sting, even though that's wasp or beehive. I think beehive, along the ground, but sometimes I call it beehive. So there's community, unity, industry. There's busyness in the flow. And everyone has their job. Everyone plays their part. Now, here's a bunch of water as well. Really cool for the being the leap of faith, which matches uh, going forward and leave the past behind. I really love this picture. Oh, it's a very sweet picture. Um, so this is the shapeshifter. This is the, I want to call it the selkie. Yeah, selkie. I may have told you before the story. The selkie is that they could be the sea otters, right? They could come out of the water world being their home, but they could come in human form, and in that they could mate. But a longing, they always long to go back to their home to visit. If their pelts were still available to them when they left them on their shore or hid them, they could go back into their pelt and go visit. They could go home then when they wished to. But if a pelt was taken by a hunter, they were forever in a human form and longed for their home and could not go back. Now, here, this is about shape shifting. This is shapeshift, transform, experience a new reality. So that's why it said it goes with also go forward and leave the past behind. So it's really, really very interesting. You got two sets of cards that mirror each other. And this one's such a water sign, for those of us that are thinking about ocean or relaxing by lake or going somewhere different. Like it's like shedding our skin and becoming someone new and going somewhere different, transforming ourselves. And again, this is number 4, being ourselves in the leap of faith, moving forward. So these are great cards about in the midst of rain change. Hi, Deb. Nice to see you. Thank you, people, for stopping by. I really appreciate you very much, ladies, and anyone else will come by later. Um, like for me, what you may not know, and if you do, please forgive me for repeating. So, like I did try doing oracle cards in the driveway. Father was upset with me. He said no people on the driveway, whatever reason at the time. He also said I could do it in front of the hedges, which is part of his land, and also sidewalk of the city, whatever. We live in a bubble neighborhood. We live in a manicured lawn. Everybody's quiet about their dysfunction, and they want to be right in their rightfulness, but not actually have a conversation with you. So people reported me for perhaps trying to make money at the end of the driveway, starting a business, and doing oracle readings, and probably got scared. There's actually one person stopped by and told me I was bad, told me I was not from God, told me I was doing something evil. So of course I said, well, I believe in God and Yeshua. Yeshua is my cousin. So yeah, he thought I was nuts. And he said bye, but he stayed in his vehicle. He did not come out and talk to me. I was going to go up to him, but I thought that would be too much altercation. So anyway, so I had some people report me. The town commissioner. Oh, thank you, Rob. The town commissioner came and did like a report, and I got to talk to him. He was actually very nice. Talked to him on my phone. He didn't know anything about oracle card readings or, wondered if it was tarot. He had no concept of like esoteric teaching. At least he professed that, and he was very intrigued by the way that I described how does it go through a reading, who is it I call upon, what exactly I was doing with these people. I wrote on the advertisement by donation, which means if you gave me a chicken, that's great. If you gave me a penny, that's great. If you gave me a T-shirt, that's great. If you gave me nothing but a thank you and a hug or not, that's great, because I told people I will read for you anyway, because I was honing this craft. And I know that people are in a time that they're seeking some answers, some mirror answers. And sometimes the cards are really helpful. It just confirms your emotion and or a possibility of where to go next. It's an overview. You don't, and I would tell them, like, you don't have to drink my Kool-Aid. Your truth center is your truth center. That you have to follow. Because people can say, hey, that's black, hey, that's black, hey, that's black. But you see it as kind of a deep purple black, and you're not seeing it quite as black, and you don't want to sign on that it is black. I'll just go along with it. That's what a lot of people are doing to keep the peace, but the part of them is being raped. And some, some they really see black, and that's it. So anyway, I stopped doing oracle card readings, and it was a way for me to bring in some income, and it was like I didn't have a dollar amount to it. So I'm finding ways to brainstorm, like making up this to print signs, which I haven't ordered yet. I can have them check me because I'm, doing all the work at my end, and it's kind of good that I did that. So I have a good sense of what I'm saying or what I'm fitting on this car magnet signs and whatever else I might be able to do. I have some job interviews. I did go on one I would prefer. I believe does pay more, and it seems kind of honorable. Like if you finish your tasks under the hours they give you, you still get paid for all the hours you were set forth that day. And sometimes that is very possible to do. It is for what I used to call evil Amazon. However, Mr. Jeff Bezos is, I believe, not on Mars. I'm sure he's had designer bling and designer outfit. And if he's not at uh, the Gitmo Island resort, he is no doubt in Antarctica, where it would be very difficult to cause some harm. And if not, he has met our Maker, and that is for the Maker to decide what happens with us and our soul contract and the light that we either withhold or the light that we spread to the planet. It is not for us to spend time in that, because even as much as we have strong convictions about the goodness of what perhaps is very, very important to strive to and keep, if we keep having conversations about the suffering and we keep having conversations about the terrible world, that is, we're in conflict with this pretty joyous vision we wish to create. Again, if we create our reality, we do by a word of our wand. Even myself, we've got to just, okay, what are some soothing ways I can launch this great new finds that I wish to share? And imagine if miracles are supposed to be an everyday experience, and our health issues are really our emotions that we didn't know over time as beliefs got stuck into different areas of our muscle systems and our tendons and all the intricacies. Imagine we're just a whole gazillion, trillion, whatever amounts of cells plopped together, and an amazing idea. Because if you open me up and I see all this guts and stuff and all these organs orchestrated in just an interesting, perfect way, we're all made of cells and cells and cells and cells. Think of epigenetics. If you don't know what epigenetics is, briefly, it basically is that the organism takes its signals from its environment, and therefore we're not predispositioned to endure our cancers and our back pains and our all kinds of stuff. We are master creators. Yeah. So I really appreciate that you joined me to listen a little this morning. I didn't want to be too long. We're at 22 minutes. I really do have a couple of errands I want to do. I keep thinking I'm going to, start doing this at 6 a.m., but my nighttime have to sleep better and really wake rejuvenated, and also live with an elder that I'm concerned about talking too loud and having their morning begin further. And since the elder is it's very good to see you. Thank you. I really appreciate you. I don't want to just, so here I am, the older kid, living with the papa, and papa is very Italian. So I do my best to keep peace, and part of that is I can not be, oh, I dropped a car, I wonder what that. Another card just dropped off the top. So let me just say, so this is the goddess. This is the goddess of this particular cave. She has very luminous eyes. She's wrapped in green. She is for your heart, and she wants you to go into the cave of your beingness and take a good look, so that we do our inner work and clear out all the junk and be super in alignment with what we say we want to do and spread into the world, whatever that you want to create. And I'm proposing that you want to create better and better, lighter and lighter, wealthier and wealthier, and optimistic and optimal greatness in every area of your life. Because if you have that in your life and you're wishing that for the world, you exponentially will spread that to the world. It's a law. It's a science law. It's a part of a God law. It just is. So all these cards, well, oh my God, they really do talk to you, right? They jump off and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to say to you guys, if you're listening to me, I do still do readings by donation. Please don't feel like, oh, I'm calling you too much, oh, I'm asking too much, oh, I know that you do this, blah, blah, blah. I don't feel like that because sometimes we all need a little bit of a help. And the last thing we want to feel is feed our unworthiness by not being able to ask. And so what I did with my oracle card readings when the people did come at the end of my sessions, I always said take a picture, and I always said, or take a picture of the group that this group that resonates with you, or whatever you wish. You don't have to. And then I would say, if you have a thought in these next hours or next week or two about the cards, about something I said or didn't say or missed, anything, come back at me. There isn't a charge for that. There's more like a dialogue so that you're clear. And sometimes when I put the cards away, other things will come to me because the cards are very, very multi-level. They're what the author has said about them and how what they were created in their for their culture, for their spiritual meaning, for their mythology, for the truth that's behind them. And then there's that which is in my experience and how readers will often have their tarot or their oracle, and we have what happens in our experience. And so we know certain cards for us mean these things. And then we do use that as a kind of a sounding board. But we also take other things in consideration, such as numbers and color, and the goddess image or the god image. And then also, we don't know your question a lot of times. So it's really bringing up as much of the level of that and taking a look at the length of the cards and what it seems to be meaning. And then if we needed to, if something felt unclear, we would just pick another card off the top, which is what happened with this flew off the top, So yeah. So I'm going to be dropping off job application, some wonky place. They're open now. That'll take me about 20 minutes to get there at least. I needed to stop at the grocery store. I want to get my favorite drug drink in the world, kombucha. Certainly have water to get in today as well. Several of these. I did maybe a couple yesterday, so I missed a little bit my mark. And I have my chiropractor. I have another job interview, things like that. So yeah, and I will be visiting Engage Reiki a little bit. There was a little bit of I had to step back for a little bit to assess something I felt I was going through, and I do encourage that he means in his heart he has a great message, and I know he truly cares about you. So that could be a good show to catch up in. I also have my other things that I aspire to, but I'm finding in the morning sometime I need to center myself more. And until I get up really early enough that I'm centered enough for me to jump on things, I have to take care of first things first. Like much of us, and I guess you all are excellent morning risers. Yahoo! I'm really happy for you. Please feel free to connect with me in any way. I think in the description, I even put my phone number. So you are invited to reach out to me if you need some assistance, if you need a card reading. There's no pressure for a money donation. It's helpful right now. I've been living off credit cards, and that's why I'm going to get a job, because I'm one of those people that hasn't attracted, very interestingly, the stipend that the government so says they want to help us with, or our, what do you call it, the unemployment, which they say I'm on the table. So every morning I just give thanks and I just say one step closer and very appreciative. And I also call them my energy code. So I don't think that my sacred codes or symbols are wrong. I mean, I feel like these are happening, but certainly I'm in this observational place of my life too. Coyote is a sister I never had on this card. Oh, Kim. Oh, thank you. I know you were so nice to me in terms of, you mentioned this couple of nice things about, and everyone here, Deborah, Robin, whoever else will show up, said a couple of nice things privately. I hope you got my message via the PayPal thing. I can send you a message. But I think there's a way for me to navigate, maybe sending you something, a little card. But that's why I try to write you a little email back. Thank you. And again, no pressure, everybody. Do we have a spirit animal in our life? I'm going to tell you today, you had several spirit animals show up. I don't have spirit cards. Those are cards I would like. There's a deck by Bernadette Carter King. She made this deck that mirrors the tarot and the animal cards. I would get those in time. I supported her, and I'm supposed to get a coffee table book from her, but I guess it's not done yet because gave a while back, her Kickstarter, so I'm unclear about that. So I'd get those. And then there's Lemurian Child Start one. I thought about maybe getting another deck, which would have to do with love and lovers. But I really want to review some of the decks. Sometimes decks are, you don't want to put up a lot of people. I don't want to even, like sometimes decks can be very, very sexy. And that's okay if you have like then that double deck. But I would feel like if I got a love deck, that it would be very, very sweet and endearing and not necessarily like all these very exotic um, that look like, you know, veil dancers, which is fine. I have nothing against nudity, nor veil dances, nor even legalizing prostitution, because that can be helpful to some people actually who are disabled, who are mentally challenged, for people who there's a lot of situations out there that we just don't know about. So to judge it isn't to judge it. It's just to like there's room for everything within an integral, noble example, you know. So as far as you got a lot of actually spirit animals here, but the one that I would say the most that leaps out to me is the selfie, is this otter, one that is moving with the flow, one that's going with the flow of the water, one that is asking yourself to shape shift, to be a new you, to shed the skin. I don't have a snake here, which would be actually really good. We know some people are super afraid of snakes. That would be, I would say, this is right now out of these cards. Besides the builder, besides the otter as well, there were kind of two animals here, but this one's calling me forward, and perhaps it's my own take and like about myself, shape shifting, about wanting to be more than I am, but authentically so and nobly so, and be able to go from land and sea with ease. Now, this guy does too. You know, they build homes, they're family oriented. So I'd say you got two spirit animals, really. So I'm going to call it, it looks like more like an otter, but it's probably a beaver. That would make more sense in the wood to have a beaver. I mean, they build dams, they're industrious, they're community, they're caring, right? They got to swim underwater to get into their house pretty much. I think that's how they do it. And then they go down the, you never, you hardly ever see them, right? When do they do these things? Right? Sometimes you'll see a beaver dam somewhere, like on a lake, like thing. You know, you go by it a lot, you never see them doing it. You just do it. And then this beautiful, beautiful mythology that we can create, that we are the master creators in our lives. So I wish that's helpful, Kim, or yeah, I wish that's helpful and supportive to all of you here. So please, if you'd like to engage in chat, or I also do supposed to do one today. I was going to do it earlier. I did one yesterday. I've been doing quantum healing. I call it quantum healing because I bring in. I do have Reiki symbols. I'm a Reiki too. I've had it, not Kevin, but I've had another Reiki master say, "Don't wait, share this." And she was very much. She's not into her symbols. It's been a while since she's made anyone a master, so she didn't want to make me a master. She didn't feel comfortable. But she said, forgive me, and I just mean this in terms of sharing. She said, don't wait, you're very powerful. Kevin at one point had told me that privately. I've had a few other people tell me this. I have done work in Ireland and actually over an animal on a dog. I knew some things that I didn't know. I just shared it with the owner and they said, oh, this is right. She didn't even tell her this. So this is good. This is just good for me in terms of, okay, like sometimes you share things with people, and I did a work on someone yesterday, and I shared a lot with him because what I do in the quantum energy, it's called quantum, quantum light code energy sessions or transmissions. So basically, I have quantum codes from the universe. Some I know, many I don't know. I just draw them or think them. They just come in, or I write. My hands just shake, and then I do this session. The session would last anywhere probably from 40 minutes to an hour, or just over an hour. And then I verbally can talk with you, or I do like a voice clip of everything that I did that I can consciously remember, because I will also, if it's called upon, use crystals. So I will text you when I begin that. I text you when it's done. And then I verbally, I know sorry if that's annoying, but if I do the voice clip thing that keeps starting and stopping, I tell you crystals I used, and it could even take pictures. I tell you who I invited in, how I seal everything and end everything, sensations I feel. Sometimes I feel like crying and things like that. I can feel people's pain. So this is to move the energy on and to infuse you, which is much healing as possible. So I do try to clear the chakras too. But after you can talk to me. It's just like after these card things, you can talk to me because you. It's like when people work together, it's a co-creation, and you have a truth center. So anytime I speak, if it's wonky, it's wonky. To you, it's wonky. It's okay because you have your truth center. You have your experience. You have definitions you know with your biology and definitions we don't know, and you don't know running your biology. That's okay. Sometimes we don't know it till it comes to the surface. Like I didn't know that I secretly had a fear of Black people at one time in my life. And I was made to feel afraid of Black people in a well-meaning way by well-meaning people because it was a prejudice. That's a false premise that Black people are to be feared, or certain white people are to be feared, or certain Asian people are to be feared, or people who are short and fat because they eat too much, or that it's just genetics, or it's just this, or it's just that. There are a lot of things we have control to change. We just have not been introduced to the conversation. So sometimes you don't know you're afeared of something, so it hits you in the face, and it's your turn to experience homelessness, or going without shoes, or a car breaking down, or being some stupid, crazy accident that you consciously didn't know you were going to walk to, even though you thought it was going to be a great day, or maybe you said something was up, you just missed making that turn to whatever, but there you were in co-creation, and all for helping you be goddesses and gods on earth in present form, in a human skin, which, yes, is nothing but energy and can misdirect itself sometimes because of past beliefs, or just the seeing is believing rather than believing is seeing. Believing is manifestation. Knowing that belief brings it in. Yeah. So, okay, I could talk with you all day and chit chat and go back and forth and blah blah. But I sincerely, if it works for you, if you want, otherwise, show up again. I'd like to tell you exactly what time I'm coming on. Obviously, seems like a great time. When I start working again, I don't know. I'll keep you posted best I can and try not to disappear so much. I do wish you a magical day. I do wish your heart to break open and feel fully alive, fully blessed, and amazing in yourself that you exist. You exist. And because you exist, you are. You are part of all that is and ever was and ever will. My little coyote heart just loves you. I thank you for finding me this morning to have a little bit of a share. Okay.